You have to note if you smell or not.
Okay.
Okay? So I have to set.
Oh, by the way, just one question. What kind of taste is umami?
Umami is a kind of the Chinese food has glutamate. The glutamate is the taste of the umami.
Okay.
It's very salty.
Yes. Okay. Now I get it.
Yeah, sabe crema.
¿Con qué tema?
Uno por cada lado, es que no tengo más.
Well, in English, it's called savory or fermented. It's mostly fermented foods, miso,
Pero tiene que ir.
cheese, and yeah, it's real savory, meaty
So-
kind of flavor.
So we take, which one we take?
So you can take whatever you like, and then you just mark if that smell or not smell.
Okay. Just take the top off.
Take 2, 3, and then we will pass to the next.
Okay.
So some are red and some are blue.
Because they have repeated, but we don't have
Okay, so
another
we
box.
can do
We
one
have to
each.
set in each one.
Okay, so we'll each do one of the colors. Okay. Great. Systematic.
And then pass to the next.
So we take two?
Yeah. Different letters.
Yeah.
Do we have to smell it directly or with this thing?
No, let's put it back.
¿Cómo vamos a enfocar? Nadando.
Yeah. Just
To
need-
what degree do you know that it's
Lo mismo
smells?
sí. Open it, read, and just smell detected or not. Vamos a ir pasando.
We can circulate it.
Sí, sí, sí.
Y lo volvemos a cerrar, ¿no?
Sí, pero es que no
Bueno, a la izquierda. A la izquierda entonces.
Sí.
¿Y si mentimos? Para callarnos a nosotros mismos.
Pass to the next.
Al final tienes que haber probado todas las, oído todas las letras.
Pero aunque sea muy suave, si nos damos uno muy
Si
suave.
notas, is the minimum concentration that you are able to do.
Yeah.
Well, this is a. So with this test we are conducting a scientific survey about the olfactory and gustatory perception. So if you agree, your data.
We can be subjects in an experiment.
Yeah. So I need to sign this.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll sign.
This is all the propylene glycol.
To todos los rosas.
Esas rosas todavía me ponen todos. Y el de eso ya lo sabíamos.
No, there are some.
And does anybody have
Me falta el I y la J. A mí me falta I, la I, la J y el L. ¿El H no? Sí, todos.
La
I, la J y el L.
¿Queréis una I?
Yo quiero una I.
Pues
También
a
tienes
mí
una
me
I.
falta
Tenemos una I.
FPH.
¿Y tú cómo tienes la I? Sí.
Pues ha pasado.
Pasa por ahí, pasa por allá.
Nos falta I, J y D. No, E.
Nos falta una I.
F. Espérate, pues.
¿La H te falta?
Espérate.
Ah, perdón.
Si quieres la H e I, por
No,
favor.
no, no, queremos I.
¿Os falta la E? Estáis con la. Ay, sorry.
No las mucho, que se vais todo el honor.
Ay, no, muy capaz.
It's missing. Mira la F. Pues
I saw I before. Well, the H and the I look alike.
Anybody have the I or the A?
Nos falta la I y la J.
La F.
Y la G me falta.
No se acaba nunca.
I'm not sure if I...
No se acaba, ¿no?
Are you finished? So next is this one. This is olfactory discrimination. This is the more difficult of all of this. Because you have to distinguish what kind of smell has the buyer. So we can distinguish over 10,000 others, but normally those that are really simple and very used at home, it's difficult when you isolate completely from the contents to be able to discriminate the others, but you have to try. Please don't copy the next.
Pero los quizás los sacamos de aquí.
Es que como están así, a lo mejor los repartimos. Bueno, no sé. So, there is no list that we have to choose from, right? So it's
No.
it's random.
Oh, we identify them.
You've got to find out.
These are numbers.
I'm going to start with.
Are you starting with 10?
Yeah.
Okay,
So
that's
you can just open it. Don't try to be like a wild smelling because you block the receptor, no? So it's better just to look a sniff and then separate, a sniff, separate.
Pero eso me volvían todos antes.
Es una norma.
It's almost like one. So the category is not that specific.
If you are not able to get exactly what is the smell, you can put something like floral or...
Okay, so that's my question. Is it something like
Banana.
As much thinner as you could. No?
Okay.
Much specific.
He was always asking the professor to clarify the question. Trying
You
to get him to
know,
give the
there
answer.
is a trick that you can...
I was not that kind of student, actually.
There is a trick you can ask yourself, this can be eaten or not?
Can be eaten.
Or not? And then you separate something.
O 0-1.
Okay, yeah, okay.
No, I was my
Can you try?
Maybe we should pass it.
Maybe you should pass
Have you already
it.
done it?
Que vayan circulando, ¿no?
Esta sí que la sé.
It's not easy.
Eso es muy divertido.
Very difficult.
Me recuerda todas las cosas que suelen tener aroma, ¿sabes? Tipo jabón con olor.
Por eso las...
Pero es el no sé qué. Exacto.
Es identificable.
¿Qué es esto?
Todo me huele, todo me...
Igual, otra vez. Esperemos que no.
Three is gone. Jim has it. Six, not too far. Not gone too far.
Huele un ayuno más que uno.
Uf.
Mucho.
Negative aesthetic.
It took me a while to get there with that one.
Eso es muy dulzón. Sí, yo estoy en la...
4.
2, 3.
I don't know. I need my coffee beans.
What was that?
It's the eighth one. Okay.
Ay, sí, mira, ¿esto qué es?
Pues yo todo lo cítricos.
Esto es la...
muy bajito.
Yes. Oh, you have it.
Yes.
Pero creo que hay bien. Crea sonidos muy
Dama de noche, se llama Dama de noche.
Ah, no, es verdad.
Ah,
sí, el jardín.
No,
Qué diferente.
es diferente. Esto es Dama de noche. ¿Alguno? ¿Veis que acaba con alguno de estos?
Sí, me suena pero no sé.
Ya está.
A ver si tenéis por ahí un 7 y un 4.
Hay un 7 y un 4. Este otra vez.
Many of them are the same. Same. I don't know.
I got 2, but one I thought was the artificial.
The other two that smell very much alike.
Yeah.
Ahora están acabando. Claro, pero we would like probably 2 weeks. When you are...
No, you know the thing. This test is mainly done because you need to learn the others. So I can tell you that for me now it's easy to get the flavors of wine, for example. But I have been used to take like vanilla and smell it during 2 weeks, all the night, all nights.
All night?
Yeah, and then another day cacao, another day licorice, whatever, and then you learn the others, and you put the name. And I know, for example, in France, many kids at the school they are doing that.
So they like to appreciate the wines, for instance, I suppose, better than... That's interesting.
Is there 5? Is there 5 anywhere?
Ready?
Okay. We're done.
Yeah, number 4.
So next, we have to.
Want to give us the answer?
No, answer at the end. At the end, because we have another test with others. The first one is with others again. So at the end, I give you all the answer. So the test number 3 has two different things. One is to know what is your genetic genotype for the bitter taste. So we have here this kind of paper in the little vase. You have this.
Laura, we have a lot of odor in the fingers.
No, never mind. No, this is different. So with this, you have just to put on your tongue, close your mouth, open your mouth and take it out. And if you feel really bitter, you are a super taster. If you feel like something, you are a taster. And if you don't feel anything, you are non-taster.
We have to put just on the tip or...
So on the topping plan.
And then you close your... Oh,
You're a super taster, aren't you?
Okay, let's see it.
Okay.
¿Cuál? El rectangular.
You put the whole thing like communion, like taking
Yeah, like taking communion.
Okay.
Close and open it.
close.
Oh.
Leave it in and close it. Leave it in.
And breathe and water. If you really are a super taster, just put it in the mouth without close, you feel like terrible, really bitter, very bitter.
No.
And if you take like 10 seconds, 5-10 seconds to feel something, you are tasting.
taster. Just
dull.
No te queda
It's
justo la
dull
vista.
normal.
Sí, ahora te queda.
Not got super taste.
Demasiado.
It has some taste.
That's interesting.
Nothing.
Nothing. So you just, in the test, you just put none on yes. Yeah. But should be at the moment, for to be genetically determined. So who is a super taster?
No, es una sensibilidad a esta cosa.
Who is super taster?
Super tasters, yeah. You are super
The numbers here?
No,
Now, next. So this is the genetics of the super taster, and now we are going to the structure of the super taster. So we have here, we have some food coloring, and then we are going to put on the tongue the food coloring. So our tongue will be blue. So we have in our we have another paper with a hole. That paper with a hole is put on the tip of the tongue, and just in the circle you have to count the number of papillae. The number of papillae are those that are white or pink.
The number of papillae in your neighbor's tongue.
In the neighbor. So I have here the coloring. You have this cotton. You just put once, not twice, you know. If you want, I can.
Okay,
So
we put this on the tip of our tongue, we close the mouth and we keep it for how long?
let me show.
Okay.
¿Te has puesto ya papelito?
No, más fuera.
No. Primero se tenía.
Can we see your tongue before you put the paper over?
Ya, y ver solo el número que hay dentro de la boca.
Okay, you can close you.
Can
Okay.
you turn so we can see where she painted?
Oh my God.
Okay. And then now you take this. Well, you take this. I take this better. And you put it in the. Okay. Now we have this kind of
Can we see where?
magnifier.
Right in the middle?
And ¿quieres? One.
Pero ¿cómo pueden ser? Serán azules, ¿no?
No, porque habrá una
13.
reacción.
Yeah, you can put it. 13. 13. So,
Taster. So
13.
this is like a double. We can double check whether the previous one gave the right result through a different method.
Yeah. No, but it's different because the other one is genetic and this is structure. So normally those genetic are for sure super taster. Those with the number of papillae, normally, because they have many fungi for papilla, they have many receptors for taste, so they are very taster. But the real super taster is those genetic.
So even if the genetics,
Okay.
even if the genetics fail, you can still.
Oh, you use the whole thing?
Wonderful.
Okay, so, do you want to do I'm going to get right
I've not done this before.
I need my...
¿estamos en ello?
Sí.
Es que como contaba desde allá.
I have to put my fingers in.
Oh, okay. Hold on. You have many.
A bit. Yeah.
hard to count. Could you tell me out more? Oh, it's very hard to count. 1, 2, 3.
Laura, can you pass one of your...
They all look at Luke. Sorry. Sorry. Yo no veía nada. Did I put too much on? So I put on too much.
Aura that comes and counts.
So the last test is this one, in which this test is a clinical test. So this is used for the physician to test the hyposmia, anosmias, etc. So you have 8 cassettes like this one. You have to open it like this. Smell, close. Smell, close. And you just have to select, this is the number 2, for example, between apple, vanilla or melon. So this is very easy. But the thing is that if you have more than 2 first in this test, you have to go to the physician because you have a problem with the...
Overlay. Get to a doctor after that.
I can recommend you my book. I thought I had a good sense of smell, but evidently I'm just a double normal. I like the fish, it's very elegant.
Oh, it's 6, not 9.
I like the forced
Have you tried this one?
Por eso toma tiene.
Que me vayan pasando.
Sí, claro.
Okay, ya he hecho todo esto. Have you done all of these?
Yeah.
You're done. 1, 3, 5.
Yeah. Yeah, I've done all those.
2.
It's nice to have an easy test for once.
Which was quite
Quattro.
Okay.
No, papi, yo he hecho 4.
1.
Sí, del 8 mira aquí.
Me falta el 7, el 8 y el 8.
That was quick.
4. Ya los he hecho todos. Ya está todo. Number 4.
A 10 8 no ya el limón. Limón, pero eso pues te puedes preparar para ir a la oficina.
You needed number 8.
I got it.
Okay.
Yo te daba más cada uno, el patrón, la hierba y el limón. 5
¿Qué hizo? ¿Han firmado la hojita esa?
Es verdad.
Todo el mundo dice tabaco. Ellos no dicen tabaco. No huele nada y se huele. Y vosotros que voy a decir, Ángel.
No, pescado.
Pero no binario. No, binario.
So we just finished. We are going to give you the answer. So the first one. What do you think that there is no any aroma in this number? Oops, sorry.
G. Oh, no.
No.
G and I. D, F, and I.
G. All of you say G, no?
Yes. G.
Okay.
No. I smelled something on all of them. Yeah. But G was the weaker.
The G
G was the weaker.
Yeah, G was the diluent. So was not possible. And then also the F has a minimum concentration. It's almost impossible. So normally the medium is that the people. So this is the J is the diluent. The F.
G, you mean?
G.
You mean G, right?
G. Sorry.
Is what? And is
G.
the diluent? What do you mean by it's the diluent? What do you say?
Diluyente.
Diluted. Diluted?
I mean, it means
Diluted, yeah. So where's the cross then?
So don't say. You have to correct your answer.
Don't change.
So I'm gonna give you the answer in this
It is not.
paper.
Oh, okay.
No, make it yet.
El D este no es menos. No, menos es lo más bajo. Pues completamente de eso.
So,
Oh, I have to say.
Yo totalmente desorientado.
No, yo no entiendo que significa.
so this number in this column, smell detected, they say the concentration. So the A is 4%, B 0.0625. So the thing is that you have the numbers. The number 11 is the number that there is no odor at all. Number 10 is the second one. Number 9 in this column, the second one. So the number 1 is the maximum concentration.
The less odor it has.
The less
The higher the number,
the less concentration.
The less concentration. So
How will you?
I need to go to the doctor's too.
You have to say yes or not.
So this, the higher the lower the concentration.
Y una cosa con muy baja concentración, que no hemos oído nada, pero
No.
¿está bien?
No, pones que no es aceptado porque luego se hace la media. Pero es decir, estamos buscando umbral objetivo y para hacer una media.
Vale. Es que sí que no olvides.
Pues este es todo el del pescado.
What about the aroma?
With this, I got the ones that I didn't get. I got in the right group, so I knew it was a. I remember I was thinking orange cloves rather than orange blossom, and I put flower like soap for jasmine. So I was getting sort
Yeah,
of.
many people say perfume. As a lotion or whatever.
And I got sweet lemon because I knew I got lemon and sweet lemon for the orange.
You know, I had people from one of the tests I made was a mixture of orange and cinnamon.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had a group of students from the States and from Spain. And all of the States they said cinnamon. And all of the here from Spain they said orange. It was completely cultural, you know.
Yeah, wow.
It was really fun.
I have to try that with my students.
were all the same. These were all the same order.
Yeah, yeah. So the thing is that normally if you get the odor like in 6, you have to have some detection in 7, 8, no, I mean in 5, 4, 3, 2, no? Because it's the maximum concentration is 1.
Okay.
So normally the people, they began in our study, they began to have odor on 7.
Oh, okay. So we were just imagining we had it.
Yeah.
So I would swear I was smelling something. But
Yeah. Wait, the thing is that we are. Okay, so that's all. So I hope you like it. I think that the good thing is try to learn the others.
Yes.
Because I think that is something that we should do. And more if we are in something related to olfaction. No? So I think that is important. And also has been, I can tell you that we have been doing some experiment in mice where we have an olfactory environment, enriched olfactory environment. And then the number of new cells in the olfactory system is higher. So that's good for many things. Is also the same with exercise or diet or something like that, no? But with odor it's very interesting because there are many more cells.
your cells will regenerate more if you are practicing.
If you are, at least mice are in an enrichment environment.
So the richer the environment it is in odor-wise, then
they have more neurogenesis. So we have neurogenesis in the olfactory epithelium, in the olfactory valve, and the hippocampus. The hippocampus is something related to memory. It's another system. Yeah. But in the olfactory valve and olfactory epithelium is the higher neurogenesis rate. And if you train those mice with odors and you put in a special environment, and they get more cells, more number of cells.
But the cells are not then useful for something else, right?
We don't know. The thing that we know is, for example, in Alzheimer, Parkinson, it's a neurodegenerative disease. We know that there is a hyposmia. One of the first symptoms is hyposmia. And then we are studying something with mice, an experimental model of Alzheimer in mice, and we are trying to get the threshold of olfaction to before they get the symptoms, and they have a hyposmic state. So I think that something should be there, but we don't know yet. We are trying to do some project, getting some results.
Imagine if by just making the environment richer from that point, from the other point of view, you can actually enhance some other cognitive function.
That's for sure. So has been some survey study doing with some families from 20 years ago, and they began to test the olfaction in family, in people that could have some kind of neurodegenerative disease, and they began to have a hyposmic state before than others. So many people is going with to the neurologist and said, well, I don't know why, but I don't have any smell like before, I can taste the food. So we are thinking that probably there is some relation. We don't know if that is related to the neurogenesis, because if there is no new neurons in the brain in that place, we don't know why in the olfactory valve, but it's there. Maybe it could be something related.
Another question, because you said that we have like over 1,000 different receptors in the nose, whereas in the mouth is like 20 something. But this is correlated with our ability to actually distinguish between different tastes and different
No, that's
scents, because I would say myself that I'm more able to distinguish between tastes than scents, although you said that 80% of taste is also olfactory. But it seems that it's like almost 2 orders of magnitude more receptors, more different receptors in the nose. But
yeah, we don't know why there is so many genes related to olfaction. So the 5% of genome is olfactory. 5% of the genome. So at least in rats. But in human is something similar. No, I mean it's really similar. So we don't know why is that. Why for division we have 3 receptors. So we have a huge number of colors, and then the color is an interaction of those 3 receptors by the wavelength, no? But in olfaction there is a kind of specific molecular binding from the odor and the receptor for each odor, and then you have to think that a specific odor or scent is a mixture of many different molecules.
yeah.
So we can say for example the rose is the combination of the molecules 1, 3, 100 and 200, and all the combination is giving you the rose aroma, no? But we don't know why is. So we are thinking, if we are a biologist, we say, okay, the organism or the body is saving energy, cell energy is our statement, no? Why so many things related to the olfactory system, no? So there is something else.
Having to do with the evolution and
The evolution is really amazing. If you go in the phylogenetic scale, you see that, for example, we have mammals. The mammals are considered macrosmatic or microsmatic. Macrosmatic are those which are a very big area in the brain with olfactory system, and microsmatic is like primates or humans, no? And then, for example, we have a mammal that is the hedgehog, where the 3rd part of the brain is olfaction. And then if we continue the evolution, we see that we reduce a little bit all things related to olfaction, but it's not so much like happen with the neocortex. The neocortex is a specific area in the brain. In the human is very evolution, but in human, the olfactory system, the olfactory valve is really small, there is olfactory tract very long, but the olfactory cortex is really big, and it's related to epilepsy, for example. So the major zone for epilepsy is the temporal lobe, that is the auditory and olfactory lobe, and many things are related with the olfactory cortex. We don't know why, but the thing is that I think from Cajal in 19th century until the 2004, when Axel and Bach received the Nobel Prize, the olfaction study was something that nobody liked it. Was not interesting, no? And now I think that many people is trying, because it's an area for stem cell, it's an area for behavior, it's an area for learning, for many things. Evolution. So the neuroscience now is many of them is focused on
yeah.
this system. And one per odorant.
No, but you said that molecules that look like very much the same,
They have different.
they smell very different.
Oh yeah.
So is that? So is that they look the same or that they are the same?
They look the same.
Okay.
So because before it was thinking that if you have a SH group and then a Vincent group and blah blah blah, all those are kind of floral extent. And if you have another, but later on you see that different, very different molecules have the same.
And very similar. They also have different. Yeah. Okay. But not exactly the same.
I have also a question. I read a book by Gordon Sheffer, Neurogastronomy, probably, yeah. And okay, my question is about if you agree or is it true what he says, because he says that most mammals are very good at smelling the environment, but are not very good at smelling what they have in their mouth when they are eating. And with humans is reverse, is the contrary. Humans are not very good at smelling the environment, but supposedly are very good to smell what they have in their mouth. And he says perhaps this has some relationship with the fact that humans are the only animals that cook their food.
Well, could be. I don't know. I think that we have been discussing this with Gordon Sheffer.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. And anyway, we also think that there is two ways to get the olfaction: the direct and indirect way, the orthonasal way. So in many of those mammals, the orthonasal way is not so large or big like the human. So maybe for that you don't have two ways to get the odor and the taste. And also there is something related to the tongue. The tongue in many macrosmatic mammals has many papillae, and maybe they have something else than us. I don't know, but you know.
I got excited with the idea that the fact that humans cook from many thousand years could help to develop a special sensitivity of smell. I don't know. I tend to speculate.
At least in the scientific contest that I was with him, he said the other thing.
Don't you think that can be cultural too? Because we are very interested about what we eat, but we don't care. I mean, in urban areas, we don't care much about what we smell. Normally, we don't need that sense to move around, so we can be very much interested in what we cook and eat. And in fact, we have a lot of fashion things about it.
But it is something opposite, no? Because we should take care of the scent, because if not, how we taste the flavors? Because we taste the flavor because the olfaction.
Yeah, but the
olfaction. And if we take care of the olfaction, imagine how much will be the flavor, no?
Sure, I mean.
Because it's something that we didn't realize about the.
But what I want to say is that it's not very critical for us to smell things while living in a city. I mean, we don't need it to move around, to take
you
the
don't
metro,
need it? Should I tell you how many problems I have?
Maybe
This is what people always say.
You would not recognize spoiled food.
It's not until you lose it you appreciate
You would
yeah,
not,
sure, that's for sure.
You would not recognize spoiled food, or you would not recognize a gas problem in your home.
Sure, I mean.
No, many problems, really.
Don't you think that when we are relaxing, we try to smell everything? For example, you go to the beach, and I don't know, at least for many people, it's like a smell. You go to the mountain and it's a smell. I don't know.
Maybe in sex is very important, the smell.
Yeah.
It's very pervasive. No?
Of course it is. It's really important.
I don't know, I tend to think that it's secondary somehow, in the sense that, I don't know, vision is critical for us every day, or we feel like that. At least I feel like that. And olfaction looks more like something I can or cannot do, and it's more like in those situations in which I can relax and I'm not interacting, it's more like, I don't know, not that critical.
One of the reasons for that though is that it's because it's necessary, because we're breathing in and out all the time, so we have to switch off in many ways. Our body's still negotiating with all those smells, we're just not consciously processing them all the time.
Yeah,
so that's why it's only when I do my smell walks, it's only then that people say, oh, yeah, actually, now that I've been focusing on the smells, I've realised how many there are around me, and these are all familiar smells, and I'm smelling these every day. I just don't realise it, so that is then, when you interview people with lots of sense of smell, they say, I just didn't realise. It's one of the kind of, it's a cultural thing as well. Some people in some cultures would appreciate the sense of smell.
Well, if you talk to a psychologist, dealing with people who just lost their sense of smell, you'll come across, rather than congenital, you know, those are kind of two different situations. But for psychologists who encounter or counsel people who've just lost their sense of smell, they're mostly dealing with depression, extreme depression, because the people have lost their sense of place in the world. They've lost their connection to other people. They've lost their sense of taste. So they've lost all these elements of a fullness of living that we take for granted. And unfortunately, suicide is a common outcome of people losing their sense of smell. So is smell important or not important? Well, until you lose your sense of smell, I don't know if you're really able to make that judgment.
Because the sense of smell is related to your limbic system, not to your neocortex, only not to start. So vision is a very cognitive question, it's a very practical question, but smell goes direct to your emotional internal system, and when you lose your smell, you lose your emotional map in a sense. So it's really a problem. But it's not so a problem when it's congenital, it's very different. It's more a practical question.
Yeah.
But Marta, I'm interested, usually when someone loses a sense, there's this compensatory phenomenon that's expected, like someone who's blind becomes more auditory. Do you feel like your other senses have...
She's wearing glasses.
No? Yeah.
No, I don't have this feeling.
No? Okay.
No.
But certainly in tests, we were talking about this earlier on, weren't we, that it's only when people have lost their sense of smell and kind of, oh gosh, I'm losing my direction now, I think I must be tired. I'm just going. Sorry, I've lost my point. Come back now.
But just come back.
It's
balancing one sense with another. You try to develop a modality more than the one.
It will come back.
It's impaired.
But so you've suggested something really interesting. It's the interaction between memory and smell. And what I was wondering is, would our memory be completely different, or maybe it wouldn't be if we didn't have a smell? That's the point, because, well, I don't know, but lots of times in my case, my memory is absolutely, practically 100% by smell. When I can remember, well, souvenirs in a very, very, shocking way. The whole souvenir comes back when I can smell a kind of perfume or whatever. So, does it have a close link to memory, the smell, or not?
Yeah, it should be because the memory place in the brain is the hippocampus, and the hippocampus is inside the limbic part of the limbic system, and this is related to olfactory cortex, no? Then there is a connection between the entorhinal cortex, that is part of the olfactory cortex, toward the hippocampus. So, should be something like that. The thing is that probably we use more the neocortex because we are humans, no? And don't tend to go by the smells. But I think that is not bad.
No.
Because probably you use both, no? So I think that would be... I would like to have it.
Because I was thinking about Bergson's reflection on memory, like a kind of, like a kind of cinematic line. And if you link it with smell, I think it makes real sense. How Bergson tells how memory works, and if you link a smell to this, and how the smell reacts when you remember something, I think it should be, or it is crucial. I think so, but well, I'm not a biologist.
Evoking,
Yes.
Evoking brain.
It
no?
evokes.
It evokes is the only system that evokes.
That's it.
And that's the difference. There is no processing because you know, I think that I told you before, but all the system, the sensory system that we have, they go through the thalamus. The thalamus is the processing nuclei in the brain, but the olfactory system is going directly from the olfactory bulb to the olfactory cortex. Don't pass through the thalamus, so there is not a processing. It's the totally wild, no, more or less. I mean, it's going in the same pathway, so probably will be for that, no? And it's go into the limbic system, the emotional system.
And have you been able to check which role plays language in smell? How they do?
No.
How they
because
interact?
No, because I think that they are. So I mean, in the brain they are very separate areas. They are so in some of the, for example, the auditory cortex, olfactory and visual cortex, they are close each other, and then there is some transitional areas where there is some connection, but the language area is far away from there, no? Should be some connection, but
yes, but I mean not only in a biological sense, but in the sense that language is our world. There is no world without language. So smell is, I think, it must be mediated by language, so that you don't have a direct apprehension of smell without language. I don't know. I think.
no.
Okay.
So thank you everybody for the wonderful experience.